Okay, so let's talk about red cars. Rush had a song popular about 30-some years ago called the Red Barchetta. It's actually a cool story if you look it up on YouTube. But about red cars, true or false? Does it cost more to insure a red car?
No.
No, of course not. The color of your car has nothing to do with it. You could have a lime green car and you're totally fine. I mean, there's so many factors that go into it. But no, it doesn't cost more to insure a red car. Maybe more tickets. Well, if it's it's like my son's car, the 1997 Volvo wagon. It doesn't matter what color it is. It's not going very fast. So. Good. We like that. All right, flood damage is not covered under my property insurance.
Yes.
True, very true. Homeowners policies in the state of California will exclude earthquake and flood, period. No matter how comprehensive they are, it will not have flood or earthquake coverage. Those are extra. And you can always buy flood insurance even if you live on top of a hill. Whether you get coverage or not is another story. Some of you around here, you live in a flood zone, you had to cross the street, your neighbor does not live in a flood zone. It's sort of wacky. It's the Fountain Valley zone, parts of Huntington. 3, items stolen from my car are not covered by my car insurance. False? False? Who says true?
Depends.
Ah, Ron and Sean. Those are the smart guys. I went to smart boy school. So, items stolen from items stolen from your car. So let's say you have a bag of laundry over here and a bad guy thinks that it's full of money. All right? They break your window, steal your laundry while it's worthless to them. To you, it's like, oh my gosh, it's my $1,200 suit or whatever dollar suit and my 6 of my $50 shirts and my this and my that. And you're like, oh my gosh, there's like, $3,000 in laundry in this bag if I go replace it. Well, that's not covered by car insurance. It's covered by your home insurance. Okay? Falls on your homeowner's insurance. So if you're moving stuff for a friend, you got boxes in your truck or whatever, and someone steals it all, it all falls under homeowner's insurance. Okay? So that's where that goes. So here's one. I get this a lot when people call for just a car quote, and people who rent property. I rent and I don't have a lot of stuff. It is not worth it for me to get tenants insurance. No.
False.
False. Yes, very false. There's so many awesome coverages in a renter's policy and if you don't care about the coverage for your stuff, you get a policy. It's like 10 to 12 bucks a month. You get a discount on your auto insurance, and you have personal liability coverage if you're active. If you're in your 20s, you have a dog and it bites somebody. You've coverage. Let's say that the place burns down or gets smoke damage. Now you have money to go live somewhere for a while while figuring it out instead of forking out 190 bucks a month or a day at the local hotel. Or 49 bucks a month if you really want to pay that a day. If you want to pay that little at the local motel. So anyway, there's options. So it's worth it. So if you're renting or know people who rent, say, I don't need renter's insurance. You tell them, hey, it's worth it. Just get it. And if you're a property owner of a landlord sort, I always tell people, I had a meeting with two people yesterday. They've been owning properties. They have 6 properties they've owned for like 30 years. The mom did. No tenant insurance. Just asking for trouble. People who own lots of properties, they need to have their tenants get insurance policy for themselves, and it ultimately will protect the landlord. Number 5, my insurance will cover another driver who gets into an accident with my car. Maybe. Don't commit. No. There's a little maybe there. Thank you, Sally. It's actually true. So how it works, let's say I had a situation this last week. My dad, who has an international license coming in for Korea, is driving my car he's going to be in here for the next couple months. Is he covered? I want him added to the policy. A, he's not licensed in the state, let alone the country. Can't add him. He's covered. He's covered. It's called permissive use. Just like if you say, hey neighbor, you can borrow my convertible. I'm going to take your Suburban and my family from Iowa to Disneyland. And he wrecks your car, you wreck his car. What happens is their policy is going to be primary, okay? So the physical damage is primary, the liability is secondary. So if you have 100, 300 on your own car, and they have 15, 30 liability limits on their car, you're going to be okay. The physical damage always falls on the person's policy whose car it is, okay? So if they have liability only and you wrap it around the pole, you're going to have to go through your own policy if they're leaving coverage. So, but the net is, yes, you have coverage. If you have a friend or a family member coming in from out of town has no car insurance, maybe they live in New York City and don't have a car, nor a car insurance, they will have coverage. Number 6, I should never admit responsibility when in an accident. True, yeah. And I know. Well, and here's the interesting part about that. It's like, my fault. The interesting part about that, a lot of times I get calls from clients that, hey, Eric, I just got into a minor accident. And I said, well, what happened? Well, I was backing out in the parking lot, and I'm just hearing the tape I'm cueing the tape about what I'm about to say. And what happened? You hit in the middle? Oh, yeah, we hit each other. And they said it was their fault. It's going to be 50-50, 95% of the time, unless there's a video camera that you were there, and they smash in the side of you. If it's all possible, if you're having the presence of mind, roll your little video or audio recorder on your phone. I sure wouldn't, because I'd be all adrenaline, but if you can, take a moment and say, I need to roll the video. Say, hey, what's going on? Oh, it's so my fault. It's my fault. Yeah, you kind of backed into me while I was sitting there.
Illegal in the state of California.
I'm rolling my camera. Yeah, I guess it is a little illegal. Maybe you tell me first. Well, there you go. I don't know. Okay, delete that part of the video.
What did he say? What did Mark say? He lost it. It's illegal in the state of California to record people without their consent. You can be prosecuted for doing it.
So the footnote, let them know you're recording them. All right?
You got that right.
All right.
That was second.
Let them know that you're recording them, if it's presence of mind. But the net is, don't admit responsibility when you have an accident. If you can, take tons of photos, okay, at the very least, all right, when you're there. Excuse me. Number 7, if the police do not give me a traffic violation after an accident, my insurance premiums will not go up. This is false, very false. Yeah, you don't have to get a ticket to be considered at fault for an accident, because sometimes it will show up on, won't show up in the DMV record, your motor vehicle report you get from the DMV. It will show up in what's called CLUE, and CLUE is an acronym. I can never remember what the heck it stands for, but it's a big CLUE. There's a home database and there's an auto database. It's all the claims you've ever had. So glass claims, towing claims, they all show up on this thing called CLUE. So if you don't get cited by the DMV and the accident's not on record there, it will show up in CLUE if you file an accident with your insurance company. Settling a fender bender out of pocket won't affect my insurance premiums. True. True. How many want to say false? This is a good one. False. How many want to say true? Darn it.
There's a claim file.
It's false. So, and it's a maybe. This is Sally. This is the maybe. All right. Exactly. So here's a scoop. So I had a situation with a client once, and there was a minor little scratch, and she and this other guy basically, it was like she parked, got a little wide, and as she was parking, and it was a minor scratch. She said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Oh, it's okay. We can just settle this out of, no insurance, don't worry about it. Okay, great. And I forget what she paid him because it was completely out of the loop. But she paid him for whatever the damage was, the perceived damage. And then what happened was she calls me, she says, Eric, I just had my license suspended. I'm thinking, okay, what'd you do? She said, I don't know what I did. And she was just not real knowledgeable of the things insurance, DMV. I said, well, fax that to me. Well, apparently the person she hit filed an SR1, which is an accident report with the DMV. And so you file the SR1, you have basically about 12 months to do this. So the guy could take his money, take his $1,000 and then wait, file the SR1. The DMV follows up with the other driver, says, hey, other driver, what do you know? Well, she hadn't changed her address with the DMV. She never got the letter until way, way, way down the line. So the SR1 basically nailed her, and she didn't respond, and they suspended her driver's license for not reporting an accident. So, anyway. So tread carefully if you're going to settle things out of pocket with somebody. You're not chargeable for anything under $1,000 in the state of California for liability stuff. Okay, so just FYI. So anyhow, so how much time do I have?
That's it.
What's it? Is there like 10 minutes? 08.
I think that's
010. I have only one brief, quick question, please. What's that?
Buy the insurance for the rental car or not? Great question.
Well, you have, depends on what state, okay? What state, but basically, well, it does, but your auto policy will cover non-owned autos, okay? But they can't be a U-Haul truck. Non-owned autos, your policy will cover. Yeah, not all policies, but yours, like Michael's. Yours.
Once you buy from Eric.
Yeah, I'll tell you whether you're good or not. But yeah, you can say no because your policy is going to extend out. But there's an asterisk there I can get into if you're going to go to Chicago and rent a car. All right? Deal. Well, there's always an asterisk. Oh, thank you.